Hi. Hello. My name is Emma. So, today I'm so excited to be having some fun in the kitchen with y'all. We're going to be making tortilla pizzas, and these are such a fun, quick, and easy snack or lunch. I really like these because they have so many different ways you can do it. I've already preheat my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit so that it can be getting warm. Kids, ask your parents for help with this part. Um, Definitely something that you should not try to do by yourself unless you have experience doing this already. So, when working with food, the first thing you always do is wash your hands. So, we're going to start off with washing our hands with soap and warm water for 20 seconds. And the best way to make sure that you hit the 20-second mark is to sing happy birthday in your head twice. So, we're going to do that. So, we're going to scrub and sing happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. And then we'll rinse them off really well. Get the soap off. And then we'll dry our hands off really quickly and move to our workstation. So I have my little workstation all set up right here. I am going to be using a couple different ingredients today to just make a couple different kinds of tortilla pizzas to give you some ideas of some that you can do. So for starters, we're going to take some parchment paper and we're going to line our baking sheet with it. The parchment paper is to keep the tortillas from sticking on your baking sheet. And so we'll just take a piece and line it on our baking sheet, just like this. And so that way, when we're done making a pizza, we can go ahead and move it straight to the baking sheet. So first, we're going to take a tortilla. And today, I'm going to be making cheese tortilla pizzas. I'm going to be making pepperoni, and I'm going to be making barbecue chicken. So for our ingredients, we have tortillas, of course. We have pizza sauce. We have some mozzarella cheese. We have pepperoni. I'm also going to be making ham and pineapple, and we have some ham and some pineapple. I have some pre-cooked shredded chicken, some onion, some black olives, and barbecue sauce. And again, you can use whatever you like on your pizza. You can put as much or as little of anything as you like. So for starters, we're going to make the cheese one first. I'm going to take my tortilla, put it on the plate, and we're going to take our pizza sauce. And we're going to open that up. And we're just going to use a spoon to put it onto the tortilla. So we're just going to get a scoop. And we're going to spread it out. Just like this. That way we get a nice cover of sauce on it. And it should look like this. You can spread it all the way to the ends if you'd like. I'm going to leave it out so that way there's a little bit of a crust edge. So there's our sauce. Next, I'm going to take the mozzarella cheese. I'm just going to sprinkle it all over the tortilla. And since I've used all of that cheese, I'm going to move to a new bag, but it's still just mozzarella. Nothing different. And we're just going to sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle that cheese on there. That way it's nice and cheesy. You could use other types of cheese if you'd like. You could use cheddar, you could use Parmesan, any sort of cheese would work here. So that's the cheese tortilla pizza. Super easy, done with that one. So this one just gets transferred right on over to our parchment paper lined baking sheet. Next, we're gonna move on to our pepperoni. So we're gonna take our tortilla again and do the same thing as before and start with our pizza sauce. Put a dollop, spread it out. Get all that sauce off the spoon so you can get some on your tortilla. Put a little bit more on this one. Quite enough. And we'll spread, spread, spread. Just like this. And then once you have your desired amount of sauce spread around, we'll take some more of our cheese. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle all over. You can do like the little meme where you sprinkle. And then once you have enough cheese, which I like mine extra cheesy, so I like putting a lot of cheese, but I'm also making these to share with my family. So it's gonna be our snack today. So take our pepperonis and we're going to just place them around the pizza until you have as many as you'd like on there. And then, voila, one pepperoni tortilla pizza. And now that this one's done, we can transfer it over to our parchment sheet. Okay. So next, I'm gonna do a little bit different one. And I'm gonna make pepperoni and black olives. This could be one where you could put all different kinds of stuff on here. I'm using an array of ingredients for the purpose of variety. So we'll just spread our pizza sauce out really nicely. Make sure you get it all on there. Spread, spread, spread. Look, you can even make designs in it if you want. You can write, hi, and then spread it back out. And then we'll take more cheese. And you just want to make sure that you get cheese enough to cover the sauce. And cover it nice and cheesy. Again, you can use whatever type of cheese you want. There's multiple different flavors out there. Next, we're going to take our pepperoni and we'll put some pepperoni on there. And we'll just place it around the pizza like so. I'm going to make a design on mine this time. We're going to put the black olives on the pizza. And look, I made a smiley face. I like doing fun stuff like this to where it looks cute. That way it's not just tasty, it looks fun too. And then if you want, you can put a little bit more cheese on top just to help hold everything in place while it cooks. So I put a little bit more cheese on top of this one. And then we're finished with that one. So we're gonna take it and we're gonna carefully move it on over to our baking sheet. When you're picking up the tortillas, make sure you use 2 hands to scoop it and get the whole thing so that way you don't dump any of the cheese or toppings off and lose your pizza. So then you'd have to start over and you'd make a little bit of a mess and have to clean that up. So next, we're gonna make a different kind of pizza. We're gonna make a Hawaiian pizza. This one was my brother's request. So first, we'll start just like the other. Start with our pizza sauce. Spread it all around. Make sure you get the pizza sauce all over. Nice and covered. There we go. Take some more cheese. We'll sprinkle our cheese on the pizza. Put a little bit more on there for him just because I know he doesn't like sauce too much, so I didn't put too much on there. And next, we'll take our ham and we'll just take out a slice at a time, just like that. And then we'll just tear it up into a couple little pieces because you don't want to put a whole piece of ham on your pizza. I mean, you can if you want to, but just having nice pieces so that you can cover the whole pizza with it and have a nice taste of a little bit of everything. So I'm just gonna layer the ham around the pizza. And then once I'm done with that, on mine, I didn't use a whole slice of ham because it was nice and covered without all of it. So if you want extra ham, you can add extra ham, but this is how mine looks. And then next, we'll take our pineapple. Pineapple is one of my favorite fruits personally. It's just so sweet and it's a fun summer treat. And so we'll take our pineapple and we'll place it around the pizza and put it wherever you want to put it. That way you have a nice coverage of pineapple everywhere, just like this. I also did a little bit of light prep work and I sliced the pineapple chunks a little bit smaller so that way they wouldn't be as big on the pizza. Again, parents, ask your kids for help when using any type of sharp utensils. So there we go. This one's nice and covered with pineapple. Whoops. See, if you tilt it too far, you spill it. So there's mine. And then carefully pick up with 2 hands and move it over to our paper. Now that our first 4 are done, I'll show you. Here's what they all look like. Here's our cheese, our pepperoni and black olive smiley face, and our Hawaiian. And we'll take these, we'll put them in the oven, and these cook in the oven for 3 to 5 minutes or until the cheese is melted. So we're gonna go ahead and move them to the oven. Again, kids, ovens are super hot, so parents, be sure to provide supervision for your kids at this part, help them out with whatever they need. So we're going to put our pizzas in, and I'll set my timer for 3 minutes. And while we're waiting on that, we can start working on our next pizza. Our next pizza is going to be just a black olive pizza. That way, we can have some other options for some that are not for people who like ham or pepperoni. So, we'll spread our sauce out like so. And then, once it's nice and spread, we'll add our cheese again. I'm spilling cheese. cheese is a very nice thing when it's in blocks. Shredded cheese is yummy, but it makes a mess. So we'll just take our black olives again. And again, I bought sliced black olives from the can, but you can always slice them yourself or leave off olives. And we'll just put them all over. I'm just randomly dropping them on here this time, just to make sure that it's a nice spread out of olives all over our pizza. And once we have our desired amount of black olives, ta-da, we'll just slide this one over to the waiting area until our pan comes back out. And we'll move on to our next pizza. Our next pizza is a fun one. It's definitely a different idea and something you may not always think about when you think about pizza. So it's going to be a barbecue chicken pizza. So this one, we're going to take our tortilla, just like normal, but instead of tomato sauce, pizza sauce, we're going to use barbecue sauce. So you can use whatever barbecue sauce you like. And you're just going to drizzle it all around the tortilla until you have as much as you like. And then you're going to take a spoon or a knife, like a butter knife, and spread it out just like you did with your pizza sauce. Make sure you get it coated. There we go. That way you have barbecue sauce as your base instead of pizza sauce. And then this just provides just a little bit of a different flavor experience. That way you can try something different. So I'm going to be using mozzarella cheese on mine. I know sometimes people use cheddar. So we're gonna pause on sprinkling our cheese and we're gonna go check on our pizzas real quick because the timer just went off. So let's go look. All right, when we look, the cheese isn't quite melted on all of them yet, so we'll just give them a little bit longer. And so I'll change my timer to 2 minutes, and we'll let them cook for a minute longer while we finish our barbecue chicken pizza. So this one, I'm gonna start out with just a little base layer of cheese, and I'm going to take my chicken that I cooked, and I'm going to sprinkle it all around the pizza. So for the chicken with this, you can use, I do recommend using already cooked chicken because your pizza will not be in the oven long enough to cook your chicken. So you can either bake a chicken breast yourself beforehand and shred it yourself, or you can go to the store where they sell already shredded chicken, or you could get a rotisserie chicken and shred it yourself. Either way, just make sure your chicken is cooked beforehand. All right, and then I've got my chicken on the pizza. So now I'm gonna take some red onion and I'm gonna put it on my pizza. And that's gonna be my flavors for the pizza. I just think that this is a fun, different take on pizza. That way, you know, you're not having your basic pepperoni and cheese all the time. And then once your onion is on there and you have it how you like it, I am gonna put a little bit more cheese on top, just to make sure everything is nice and in place. And I just love cheese. So our pizzas that are in the oven have just a couple seconds left. So we're gonna go look at those again. 3, 2, 1. All right, and now we're gonna look. And sure enough, the cheese is nice and melted and toasty. So we're gonna take these out. So parents, help your kids out on this part. Kids, the oven can be super hot. Don't try to do this by yourself. So make sure you have an oven mitt or a hot pad or something to grab the pan out with. That way you don't burn yourself. So we'll just take these out of the oven using 2 hands so that we don't drop it. And then we'll set them up here to cool. These look delicious. So I actually have a little cooling rack that I am just going to set here. And I'm going to move the parchment paper over to the cooling rack so that the pizzas can cool and I can put more parchment paper on to cook the rest of the pizzas. Again, with this part, be super careful not to drop your pizzas. Okay, that was good. All right, so our pizzas are cooling, and we're going to take another sheet of parchment paper to put on our pan to move our other slices of pizza. There we go. And we'll move our first black olive pizza over. And we'll move our barbecue chicken pizza over. So I'm going to go ahead and make another barbecue chicken pizza. I'm going to take my barbecue sauce and squeeze it onto my tortilla. Just like so. And once I've got enough on there, I'm gonna rub it all over. That way we get a nice coverage. There we go. And you know the drill now. Cheese comes next. We'll sprinkle cheese all over our pizza. Take our chicken and place it all over our pizza again. There we go. This chicken is also really well. I just cooked it on the stove with a little bit of butter and salt and pepper. So cheese and chicken. And then we will get our onion and add it all over our pizza, just like so. Ta-da! And then a little bit more cheese. And once we have completed making our pizza to our heart's desire, we will transfer it over to our baking sheet. And then we'll put them in the oven again. We'll do it the full 5 minutes this time since 3 minutes wasn't enough last time, but our pan is still probably a little warm. So when moving your pizzas over, be careful not to touch them. And when transferring your pan back into the oven, be sure to still use those hot pads. So we'll move it into our oven. And we will set our timer for 5 minutes. And while those are in the oven, we can start with a little bit of cleanup. We can get all our trash together to get ready to throw it away. We can start putting the tops back on our pizza sauce and back on our barbecue sauce, just to make sure that we have everything cleaned up. Make sure that lid is nice and tight. There we go. We'll zip up our cheese. Make sure that it's nice and closed up. So I know that I made just a few different types of pizzas, but there are so many different ways you can make this. I also think that you could add sausage to your pizza if you cook it beforehand. Again, don't want to put raw meat on any of your pizza. You could do a vegetable pizza where you can put onions or bell peppers or mushrooms or anything you want on it. A breakfast pizza could also be a really good idea. You could scramble some eggs and use some cheese, maybe some bacon sprinkled on it. That sounds delicious. I've even seen a cheeseburger pizza before where you use ketchup as your base and then a little bit of shredded cheddar cheese, and you can use ground hamburger meat that you already cooked, and you can put tomatoes or you can put pickles even. So that's just what's really fun about this activity, is that you are able to just create your own and be able to make it whatever you want and however you enjoy it. So that's one of the most fun things about this activity to me. So we'll continue with our cleanup while we make sure that our pizzas are cooking. Put our lids back on everything, like I said. We'll put all of our stuff that needs to go back in the fridge together, so that way we don't forget anything. And our leftover pepperoni that we didn't finish, we can put in a little Ziploc bag to make sure that it stays fresh. Same with our chicken. We can also put it in a Ziploc bag to make sure that we have it stored properly for future use. So we'll zip all of this up and we'll take our chicken, put it in a Ziploc bag. And this is such a fun dinner or snack that you can make together with your parents or with your siblings. That way, you know, younger kids, you can design your own pizza, but older kids, you can just throw it together yourself. It's a great after school snack. That way, you know, you still hold yourself over, but you don't ruin your dinner. And it's also a very good lunch if you'd like, and you want to make a couple more if one's not enough to fill you up. So now that we've got most of our cleanup done, we'll put all of our dirty dishes together as well and move those to put them in the sink. And once those are out of the way, we can prepare for eating. So once our tortillas come out of the oven, they will need to cool for a little bit before eating them. Those over there are probably ready to eat already. So we will look at these again. So let's take a look at our completed pizzas. Here they are. We have the pepperoni and the cheese and the black olive and pepperoni and the ham and pineapple. And they all just look so yummy. I can't wait to dig into mine. So to serve, we will take our pizza cutter, which again, sharp. So ask for help. And we will take our pizzas and we will slice them. Whoops, the cheese is sticking together a little bit. And these do not take very long to cool at all since they're so thin. And we'll just slice them with a pizza cutter like you normally would. So we'll slice them into fourths. And ta-da! Our other pizzas are done. So we'll look at those. Here they are. I think they honestly need just a minute or two longer. The cheese isn't quite melted on the buffalo or barbecue chicken ones. Ooh, that's another tasty idea, buffalo chicken. You can use ranch on that. But yeah, so we'll grab those in just a second. Turn the timer off. Grab my oven mitt and my hot pad. And we'll use 2 hands to take it out so we don't drop it. But here they are, all done. Don't they look delicious? Ooh. So now that those are finished and we have this one cut, we'll go through and cut the others while we're waiting on those to cool. So again, we'll cut them into fourths, slice it across. Whoop, that pepperoni fell off. Slice and slice. Now that one's ready. And then we'll slice this one next. That cheese just looks yummy. Okay. Whoops. Make sure you do this on a solid surface to avoid any pizzas falling off. On this one, I did have to just scoot the pineapple out of the way a little bit. The pizza cutter didn't quite cut through it. All right, those are all sliced up and ready to go. So, I'm gonna try the pepperoni and black olive. That's a great little snack. The tortilla is just soft enough or just hard enough to be crisp, but it's not crunchy and it's not too soft. So while we move our other pizzas over, we're going to take our pan again and move it again because I have 2 more types of pizzas we're gonna make. And these are sweet ones. So these are gonna be dessert tortilla pizzas. So just like the others, we'll take our pan, still warm, so use the hot pads. We'll set it there, and we'll take parchment paper and line it. So once our pan is lined with the parchment paper, we'll get tortillas again. We have our tortillas. This is a brand new pack, so I have to open them up. And we will start off with taking some butter and a butter knife. It's very dull. Parents ask your kids, or kids ask your parents for help with this. And instead of pizza sauce, we're gonna use butter as our base of our tortilla pizza. And once we have a little bit of butter spread out and about on our pizza, this one is going to be a cinnamon sugar pizza. So I have some cinnamon and I have some sugar. So for the sugar, I'm going to use a spoon. I accidentally used my sugar spoon for the barbecue sauce, so I had to go grab another. So we'll use a spoon, scoop a little bit of sugar, literally just a little bit. You don't want too much. And we'll sprinkle it just a little bit around your pizza. Whoops, I dumped a little bit. I'm gonna move this out of the way so you can see a little bit better. And so I literally just took my sugar, I don't know if you can see it, and sprinkled it around on the butter to where it covered everywhere. And then I'll take my cinnamon, take the cap off, sprinkle it just a little bit and make sure you're not dumping it because cinnamon has a really strong taste, but it's really good and used in the right amounts. So we're just shaking it and sprinkling it until we have a little bit of coverage. And so here's a cinnamon sugar one. And then just like the others, transfer it over to our baking sheet. We're gonna make one more just like that. We're going to take our butter and we're going to spread it all around the tortilla. That way it's nice and covered. butter everywhere. Woo. Make sure it's covered nicely and spread out well. Again, just a small little spoonful of sugar, like just like this. And sprinkle it lightly all over. Ta-da, just like that. And then take our cinnamon, whoops, accidentally put the top on. We'll take our cinnamon and we will sprinkle our cinnamon all over, just like we did the other. And then after it's done, and we will scoot it over here. And now this one is going to be a s'mores one. So again, start with a little bit of butter, spread it all out. Spread all butter on this one since you will have the marshmallow on this one. So I'm just gonna take some of the mini marshmallows. I tried it with big marshmallows. They just don't work quite as well. They don't melt as easily since they are bigger. So I just prefer using the mini marshmallows. So you just take a little handful, sprinkle it all over until you have as many marshmallows as you would like on your little dessert pizza. And then we'll take some chocolate. You can use actual chocolate or you can use chocolate chips. You can use milk chocolate, you can use dark chocolate, you can use whatever you want. And we'll break it up into a couple of little pieces and place it all around our tortilla. And this is just a fun little way to not only have a savory snack, but you can also have a sweet snack or dessert. So I like a lot of chocolate, so I'm gonna put a decent amount of chocolate on here to make sure that the chocolate gets everywhere and melts nicely. So here is the finished product of the s'mores one. We're gonna take it over 2 hands to our baking sheet. And we're gonna make one more s'mores one. And so just like before, a little bit of butter spread out all over. The butter is what helps make the tortilla a little crispy and gives it just a little bit of sweetness and flavor to it. So after the butter, take our mini marshmallows and we will sprinkle those all around our tortilla. Once they're in place, just like that. Ta-da! And then add our chocolate again. So break up our chocolate pieces. This would be easier with chocolate chips. I just had a chocolate bar available, so I decided to use it. So once you have your chocolate everywhere, we'll move it to our baking sheet again. And same time measurements, start with 3 minutes just to make sure that your marshmallows and chocolate are melting nicely. But you don't want to do it too long because marshmallows do melt easily in the oven and they can burn fairly quickly. So you want to make sure that you don't burn your marshmallows. So we have 2 cinnamon sugar and 2 s'mores. And so we're going to go put these in the ovens 3 minutes, still at 350 degrees. set our timer for 3 minutes. And while that is happening, we can clean up a little bit again, make sure we put our tops back on everything. Another dessert pizza you can do is use cream cheese on your tortilla, and you can use all different types of fruit on top, but that one you would not bake. That one would be better cold. But you can use strawberries, you can use bananas, you could use Nutella as your base for some of them if you'd like. You could use kiwi or apples. You could use peanut butter as a base. That'd just be another sweet snack. You could use peanut butter and bananas. Again, would not recommend baking that one. It would be better cool, but that's just an idea of some other top varieties of dessert ones you could do. So that's how that would go. We'll make sure to close up our marshmallows and put everything away. We'll put our tortillas, now that we're done with those, back in the tortilla bag and zip them up. We'll take all of our trash and go toss it in the trash can. Cleaning up after you work in the kitchen is also a super important thing to do. You never want to leave a mess out. Sometimes when things are in the oven, you can clean up as you go. And that makes cleanup a little bit easier when you're able to do it as you go and not have to wait until everything at the end. So we just have a little bit longer on our tortillas that are already in the oven, our dessert tortillas. A little bit of chocolate left, so I'm gonna sneak a little bite. And I'm gonna go cut our other pizzas while we're waiting. We'll go over there and do that. So here's our original pizzas. We'll slide those out of the way. And we'll slide on over. And we'll slice them into fourths, just like we did with the other. Again, pizza cutters. And this one. And these are all done and ready to eat. And chocolate aren't quite melted yet. So we'll give them just a minute longer, actually 2 minutes, to reach that desired . Mozzarella as your cheese, and then just use a little bit of spinach and bacon on top. Delicious. So our dessert pizzas have just a little bit longer. I'm peeking at them through the glass just to make sure marshmallows aren't burning. So they actually look really good right now. So I'm going to turn our timer off and I'm going to show them to you, and then I'm going to take them out. So here they are. This marshmallow's gotten nice and fluffy. So I'm gonna get my hot pads and take them out. Oven mitt. And here they are. cheese, or not the cheese, the marshmallows and the chocolate are all nice and melty. The butter and the brown sugar just smell so good. I wish you guys could smell these. Just look how great those all look. And so once those cool, I'll slice them up just like the others, and we will enjoy them after we enjoy our other savory pizzas. So I hope you guys enjoy making these and put your own twist on them, and that you have as much fun as I do. Thanks, guys.